A progression on a tip that I've given you in the past. It happens to be my favorite tip, and there's two versions of it. There's a beginning phase and sort of a medium phase or middle phase, not really advanced. We'll get to the advanced, but today is the first two phases. We're going to review a little bit of the one that we talked about in the past, and then we'll show you the new one. But why do we do this? Our goal is to give you the tools so you can live pain-free. You do not have to live with back pain. Back pain is on the rise. We talked about that yesterday in the video. Yesterday's video is a little bit about what's wrong with healthcare and why your back pain is going away, but we got the solution. So we're here to give you the solutions. That's why we do it. We have a 9-step process. One of our steps is really about the tips. So today is one of the tips. It's the micro break, but this is phase 2 of the micro break. But we live in a culture where we sit often. We sit more now than ever. We're sitting in the morning. We're sitting on the way to work. We're sitting at work. We sit when we get home. We're watching on the couch. We're watching TV. We're watching basketball, some March Madness. But we sit on average 10 hours a day, and depending on where you live, you may sit more than that. So it's really important that because you sit in the seated position, what it does is it starts to cause you to lean forward a little bit, get a forward head lean going on there, and you get some excessive curving of your spine, and the excessive curve of the spine starts to overload the discs. And there have been some studies that indicate abnormal posture, and we've talked about this in the past, for too long is enough to increase the load on the disc by 4 times normal. And if you have a sustained load or a load all the time on the disc that is 4 times normal, that disc will start to break down. So part of why you have to do the micro break, and really this is probably the easiest one of all of them, the micro break. The second phase is a little harder because you got to do something with your hips, but it really is the easiest. So what we know is when you overload the disc, it'll start to cause a little wear and tear on the annulus. And the annulus is the outer portion of the disc. And sometimes what will happen is the nucleus on the inner portion can start to push out, start to cause a herniated disc, or even cause a degenerated disc over time where the disc starts to break down. And eventually you can get that herniated disc, but you can also get a pinching of the nerve causing sciatica. So the goal is when you sit like this for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day or whatever your sitting routine looks like, this will start to become normal. And when this becomes normal, that's when you start to have problems. So our goal is to get you into an upright position, maybe once every 30 minutes, and start to get the spine back in a better position, take the pressure off the discs, and really start to restore some normal position and normal function. We call it the posture break or the micro break. So what you do, and we've talked about this in the chair, is when you're seated in the chair, you scoot to the edge of the chair, and you want to make sure your head is in. You drop your arms to the side, and as you drop your arms to the side, what you want to do is you want to lower your shoulders. I got a crooked shoulder there, but you want to lower your shoulders like you're going to slowly sort of pushing them toward the ground. You don't want to go up, you don't want to be in the middle, you want to sort of push them down, and then what you do is you contract the muscles in the middle of your back. And what that does is it gets you into the best position. And then you hold it. So you sit there and you hold it for 30 seconds. So maybe every 30 minutes you hold it for 30 seconds. This is the easy one. This is my favorite. This is probably the easiest of all the tips. Probably the most important. Again, if you're looking for one exercise to do, because we might give you 30, we might give you 50, we might give you 100, but if you're going to pick a couple, this is one of them you got to pick. This is probably, it's certainly the easiest and the most beneficial as well. So same thing, in a standing position, stand up straight. You want to try to lengthen your spine, so it's like you're trying to raise your spine up, but at the same time, you want your shoulders down and you want your chin in. You don't want your head forward, okay? That's part of the problem. We talked about text neck. Text neck is bad because it overloads the disc. We talked about that. So get your head back, shoulders down, arms out, like, hey, arms out, shoulders down, and bring your shoulder blades together in the back so you contract those muscles to bring the shoulder blade together. Also what you want to do is when you're standing, You don't want your pelvis to roll forward. That's part of the problem. So when you're standing, what you want to do is you want to roll your, they call it tucking your pelvis. They want you to roll your pelvis back a little bit. So you're going to rotate your hips back, and as you do that, you're going to contract your glutes. The glutes are these muscles right here. So pelvis goes back, contract the glutes. You don't really jam it back and cause too much load on that disc. You want to just move it maybe 1/4 of an inch back and then contract the glutes. If you can't contract your glutes, you maybe haven't gone far enough. Okay? So again, you're going to stand in that position. So you take the breaks every 20 to 30 minutes, 10 seconds to 30 seconds. And you try to do it all day throughout the day. Okay? That's the tip. The goal is to take the pressure off the disc. 10 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, every 20 to 30 minutes. But you have to do it throughout the day because you have to try to restore that. Over a couple of weeks, you start to feel a little better. If you can't do the standing one, because that's the more advanced one, then you do it seated. First, just find that position, get the arms down your side. Okay, roll your shoulders back. Put your arms out, shoulders down, bring the rhomboids together. Just like that. So we do this every day. Our goal is to help you. Our goal is to give you the tips so you can live a better life, better lifestyle, feel better. Share this information with your friends and family. Again, this might be the most important one because it's the easiest. I try to give you guys the easiest. If they're too hard, you can't figure it out, you're not going to do it. Again, little disclaimer, we're not diagnosing you, we're not treating you. You want a treatment, you want a diagnosis, you come see us. I want you to like our Facebook page. Also, we're on YouTube. All the videos are archived in YouTube. They're hard to find it in the other areas. You can subscribe to our YouTube page. Also, you can follow us on Instagram and follow us on Twitter. And if you have any questions, ask your questions in the question area on either YouTube or any area where you happen to be. You can ask a question, and we look at the questions every day. So we can do a video if you have a question.